Hi, hello, hello. Welcome to our Gemara Shir, Masechet Shabbos. We are learning now about gram kibui. Is a person allowed to cause delayed or indirect putting out the fire in an indirect way on Shabbos, in a delayed reaction way? Is it or isn't it allowed? Yeah, that's a topic. And we're going to discuss indirect malacha gram in general today, not only regarding Kibui, also other areas in halacha. This year's Le'ilu Nishmas of Imori Menachem Ben Akiva. Le'ilu Nishmas, they told me today was the yortzeit of my Alte Baba, Rochel Bas Mordechai, my mother's grandmother. Oh, yeah? Okay. Le'ilu Nishmas, Labaran Kotler, that's all. Okay, for the safe return of all the kidnapped people. Oisin Mechitza. Yeah, no introductions. Let's just hit it. Lememra. Yeah, what did we see in the Mishnah? If you remember, the Mishnah spoke about a case in which there's fire, chlila, in a house, and the person wants to stop the fire, and what he wants to create is like a one of two. Either he wants to create a barrier of kalim, simply kalim made out of metal or hard cheres, hard clay, and they will just not be consumed by the fire. Yeah, and the fire will stop there. We're not talking here about flames blazing like crazy. Yeah, the kind of fire that a big block of kalim would just stop it because the fire has nothing to feed on. It's not fueling the fire, but the walls and that thing is allowed according to everybody. What was the machlokes? So another case, which is disputable, and that's what happens when you want to put the kelim of new clay, cheres chadoshim, full of water. Oh, so now if you put those kelim, which tend to be fire sensitive, the fire will crack them open, the water will gush out, the water will be mechabe actively the fire, will put it out in an active way, and that's already a question. Here we already have a shaila because Tanakama seems to say it's okay, and Rabbi Yossi says also it's not okay. It's also Rabbi Yossi says even an indirect action of extinguishing is also. Yeah. So far, so yesterday. Says the Gemara, Memra, are you telling me the Rabbanon Savri Gam Kibui Mutor, Rabbi Yossi Savri Gam Kibui Osu? Are you telling me what seems to be evident, according to Rabbanon, to make a gram kibui, cause kibui is okay, and Rabbi Yossi says to cause the kibui is not allowed? Rabbi Yossi doesn't say chayev, he says osur, because gram, as we'll see later, is not something which is chiv daraisa, it's osur midorabonon. Rabbi Yossi says it's always osur midorabonon, even in case of hefsed. But frek the Gemara, that's wrong. The ipcha shaminan lehu. We're going to see a brisa that indicates just the opposite. Let's see the brisa. The Tanya. Brisa talks about exactly the same case. It says in the brisa, oisin mechitza bekelim reikonin. A person is allowed to create mechitza from kelim that are empty. Empty of what? Of water. There's no water in the kelim. So far, so good. As long as water is not involved, we are happy campers. Because as long as there's no real water, you're not extinguishing, you're just passively not feeding the fire. And also, what? That's not the issue at all. I'm sorry. That's not Nugia. Ubemelein she'en darkan lishtaber, or in kelim that are full of water. Oh, but don't worry, en darkan lishtaber. These are kelim that don't break. They don't break from the fire. And in Mela, who cares that the water is there? Nothing's going to happen. No kibu will take place, so it's good. The eilu melein she'en darkan lishtaber, which kelim are under the category of en darkan lishtaber, which kelim, which materials, which whatever are kelim which you can be secure, you can make a barricade out of them and they will not break. Klei matochos, kelim made out of metal. These are metal kelim. Metal, unless the fire is crazy strong and melts it, that's not the kind of fire we're talking about. It's regular fire, not going to do anything to metal. Look under all your pots in your kitchen, right? and therefore, no problem. You want to use nice, clean meteches, kli of metal, to fight the fire as just the fire will not get through. Givaldig. That is who? That is Tanakama. But Tanakama, by the way, if you noticed, is I'm already preparing the question now. Tanakama would only allow you to use clay matochois. Why? Because these kalim of metal, we know for sure, are not susceptible to fire. So there's a bit of a chumrah here. Only these kalim are okay to be used because we can be sure that there's no kibui happening whatsoever. The Nakama seems to be saying that gram kibu is not allowed, right? The Nakama says really have to make sure that it's either empty, and if there's water, then only the one from Mateches. But if anything besides Mateches, that will break and water will come out, is not allowed. So you already see Tanakama here is the one who says what? Gram kibu is also. Now who's Tanakama? The opponent of Rabbi Yossi. Look how the Brisa continues. Oy vavoy. Rabbi Yossi Oimer. Rabbi Yossi says, no, I'm more lenient than you. Af klei kfar shichin uklei kfar chanani en darken nishtaber. Opa. There are kelim were made in two places in Eretz Israel, kfar shichin, kfar chananya. Although they're made out of clay, that clay is so strong, their clay, they will not break. Interesting. So B'yosi L'chora also agrees that he's concerned about gram kibui, but if anything, Rabbi Yossi is a bit more lenient than Chachomim. So the dynamics are wrong. Tosfos points out there's no steer in Rabbi Yossi. Yes, there's a steer in Chachomim, because Chachomim clearly said in the Mishnah, gram kibui, no problem. You can make this very cool light and sound show and have the thing break the clip and the water be right. In the Mishnah said it's okay. Here Tanakama says it's not okay. And in the Mishnah, Rabbi Yossi is the one who said he's more machmir. Here he's relatively more mekel. The Brisa and the Mishnah clearly are not going hand in hand. There's a clear steer in Chachomim, and Rabbi Yossi is kind of the other side of the of the machloikis. Doesn't work right. So that's a question. The chitema, maybe you want to try and give the following answer. If you want to tell me, look, I have a good way to deal with it. Eipuch masnisi, v'Rabbi Yossi de Brisa l'divrem koma. Oh, here we have a lot going on. Maybe you could say, as we sometimes say, maybe your Mishnah was wrong. Meaning, sometimes Mishnah is, we got the opinions wrong. Instead of Rabbi Yossi saying osir, Chachomim say muter, your Mishnah was wrong. Maybe the real version of the Mishnah is Rabbi Yossi says muter, and Chachomim say osir. Okay, and therefore in the Brisa, Rabbi Yossi is talking according to Chachomim. What does that mean? Chachomim say we're the frum ones. In the Mishnah they say, in the Brisa we say, oh no, gram kibbutz is osir. Rabbi Yossi says ledivreichem. What does ledivreichem mean? I mean the devil's advocate. I disagree with you, B'chlal. But even according to you, so and so should happen. Which means, Rabbi Yossi, I think gram kibbutz is absolutely nice and cool. You guys want to tell me that it's osir? Don't be so extreme. Don't tell me that the only thing that's fireproof is mateches. That even other types, like the klei chanani, klei kfar also okay. Maybe that would work. In other words, we're learning now how the Gemara works, how we deal with texts in the Gemara. Gemara is a problem, steer between the Mishnah and the Brisa. Mishnah is, you should know, I tell this to my Talmidim in Yeshiva also, Mishnah is a big mistake. The Gemara is not trying to make excuses and change the Mishnah whichever way it likes. That is, the Mishnahs were not fully edited until the end of the Gemara. Yes, people don't know that. Yes, not like you learned in wherever you learned in Cheder. No, in other words, Mishnah is not a set text. We see all the time. So Mechsera, many times Mishnahs we're still working with the text of the Mishnah as a fluid, flexible text. So maybe the text of the Mishnah is wrong. And Rabbi Yossi is the one who allows, and Chachamim don't allow. Then the Brisa says, okay. Zog the Gemara, that would be very nice, but it's not nice. Why? Umi matzis opchas lo. Can you really turn the Mishnah around upside down? It doesn't work. Why? V'amar Rabba bar Tachlifa mishmei de Rav. Rabba bar Tachlifa is quoting Rav. We all know that Rav is the most choshev Amoiro, the first Amoiro. And Rav says, Man tane gram kibui osu Rabbi Yossi. Rav makes a clear statement that's beyond the text of the Mishnah. Rav says, I'm telling you, You know who is the master of the Shita, the Gram Kiboy Osir? One and only Rabbi Yossi. When Rav makes such a statement, we can't argue. In other words, Rav is endorsing our version of the Mishnah big time. And the Bryce is a problem. Ella, again, we have to now find another way to reconcile this stira. La'olam lo tepuch. And I'm telling you guys, that's the final answer for this part. La'olam lo tepuch. Really, the Brisa, you don't have to change neither the Brisa nor the Mishnah. You don't have to switch the opinions. Tell me Rabbi Yossi allows and Chachomim don't. So what's the Brisa about? U'Brisa kula Rabbi Yossi. The Brisa is really not the Machloikis Tanakam and Rabbi Yossi. The Brisa really is one long statement that fits into the sheet of Rabbi Yossi. How does that work? With the famous concept of the Chisur Mechser Vachiktani. What Chisur Mechser Vachiktani? Many times Mishnayos, let alone Brisas are even less Misuder. Many times Mishnah or Brisa are missing a part of a text. And the Gemara says, no, I have another, the nusach you have is wrong. It's missing a puzzle piece. I'm going to fill in that piece, and then the entire Mishnah will make sense. Let's see which piece we're adding here. Now we're going to reread the Brisa with that addition, that extension we're inserting. Yeah? Now we have a whole new reading of the Brisa. Let's go. First wide line. Oisin mechitza, the kelim rekoni. With the empty kelim, great. You can do mechitza as much as you want. Everyone agrees to that. Kelim rekonin, even if they break, who cares? There's no water inside. There's no real water, fire, war here. You want to fill it with water? You want to take the water, the kelim that happen to be full of water? No problem. As long as they don't break. As long as they're not breakable by the fire. Yeah? The fire won't crack them open. Which kelim are those which are safe enough, which are fireproof? Yeah, which ones are fireproof and will not break, and it's okay to use them? Listen to this: all three klei matches, veklik for shichin, veklik for chanania nami, and dalkan nishtaber. That's a chizur mechsera. We lump them all together. Mateches, shichin, chanania. Either mateches for sure doesn't break by fire. Even Shichin Kfar Chananya also, although they're made out of clay, but it's strong. You know who told us that it's strong, it's not breakable? Rabbi Yossi Omer. Rabbi Yossi is not arguing. Rabbi Yossi is the proof to what we said. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Av Klei Kfar Shichin, Ukvei Kfar Chananya, Dakan Nishtaber, full stop. Very good. Which means, let's summarize. It's all so easy. Again, everything stays as it was. Nothing happened. What did our Mishnah say? Let's repeat the Mishnah in synopsis. What did the Mishnah say? The Nakama says, Gram Kibui Mutter. Rabbi Yossi says, Gram Kibui also. Okay, very good. Yes? This Brisa, which seems to be a Brisa which is Machmir and is forbidding the Gram Kibui, that Brisa is Rabbi Yossi from the beginning till the end. Your version of the Brisa that sounded as if there's a conflict here is wrong. The real gears of the Brisa is Rabbi Yossi Omer. Not Rabbi Yossi is arguing. Rabbi Yossi is adding. Rabbi Yossi is the master of the Brisa, and he's telling you Gram Kibui problem, usher to have Gram Kibui. And I'm telling you, don't be too machmir on that, because I'm telling you that Klei Kfar Shichin Kfar Chananya, they're not going to break, just like Klei Mateches. And therefore, there will not be Gram Kibui taking place, and it's okay. Very good. But we stay as we were. Really nothing earth-shaking really changed here. The Nakama says Gram Kibui is mutter, Rabbi Yossi also. You can always remember it. Samech, Samech. Rabbi Yossi, Oiso. That's easy to remember. Now, as I promised you, we're going to extend and expand our horizons beyond Kibui to talk about other areas of halacha to do with grama. We all know that there's a terrible avera, a very severe issur is to erase the name of Hashem, right? L'tasu ken Hashem Elokechem, v'ibadtem shmam en mokom ha'u. L'tasu ken Hashem Elokechem. Don't erase the name of Hashem as you should of the goyish idols. That issur is what we're going to deal with. What happens when you erase the name of Hashem in a way that's a groma? Not a direct way, but in a way that's more slow-moving, less direct. Isn't or isn't it allowed? That's the comparison. Frag the Gemara, a question. Verami de Rabbanon and de Rabbanon. We're going to show a contradiction between the Rabbanon over here to Rabbanon, the same Rabbanon in different place. Verami de Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yossi. We're going to show a contradiction between this Rabbi Yossi and another statement of the same Rabbi Yossi. The Tanya. Let's see the steer. Look at the Brisa. Harei shoyo Shem kosov lo besori. Somebody, for whichever reason, it's not a tattoo, chas v'sholem. A person has the name of Hashem with ink, maybe, written on his skin, on his flesh. He has the name Yud Ke Vav Ke written on his arm. Why did he do it? Because he's silly. Or somebody wrote it without him wanting. I don't know why. He has the name of Hashem on his arm, on his chest, on his stomach. Harei ze lo yichotz. He's not allowed to wash. Cool. Yeah. How amazing. Shalom Bais. He's not allowed to wash. I don't know about Shabbos. He can't wash. V'lo yosuch. He can't put shampoo, oil, or whatever, body lotion. B'kitzur, he can't do anything that would remove the name. Because when you wash, it's going to wash it off. V'lo yamod b'imkom hatinoifes. He's not allowed to go to toilet. Can you imagine? A guy with the name of Hashem, how would he go to toilet? Go outside. He can't go into toilet with the name of Hashem. Or people have necklaces. Name of Hashem is a big problem. Or psukim in a necklace, it's not so pashut at all. I'm not a pasuk halacha, it's not so pashut. A guy with a kippah with a whole pasuk, with all, it's, I don't know.
Does it have to go to two coverings? Yeah,
What?
that's the calculation.
We're talking here about no two coverings. Nice. Okay, I hear. That's not the discussion now, but you may be right. Right. Every time, put the necklace in two coverings. When you buy it to your wife, buy it with the
Like
two
a
coverings.
kamaya.
A kamea. Oh, we discussed that very nicely before in the sugya in B'meisha. Very nice. Good memory. Nizdamlo tvila shel mitzvah. Uh-oh. Maybe he can survive without a shower until the name of Hashem just wears off. Yeah, good luck to him. But tvila shel mitzvah. Let's say the guy is Tomeh. And we're talking you're either a woman nowadays or a man who's Tomeh, Zav, or anything. Yeah, he touched a mace. Yeah, he has to go to Tvila. And now the Tvila is, as we'll see later, time sensitive. He has to go to Tvila Shel Mitzvah. What is he going to do? He can't not go to Mikveh. He has to. He has to bring Korban Pesach tomorrow. Okay? Hello? You have to go to Mikveh with or without the name of Hashem. So what do? Zog the Mishnah. Yeah? Zog the Braisa, excuse me. Kohen Chale put a piece of reed, yeah? Let's say it's your hands, to make it easy. Put a piece of reed to cover the name of Hashem. And go to the mikveh while the name of Hashem is covered. So this way, the name of Hashem is protected and will not be erased, diluted by the water. That's what the Nakama says. That brings many questions about chatzitza. Believe me, this sugya, the Gemara really breaks it apart to every possible area. It's one of the most fascinating dapim in Shabbos. So a lot of everything will be dissected. But the Nakama, from some reason, is telling me what? Yesh lecha, okay? The middle of the white lines. Yeah. In other words, make sure you cover the name of Hashem. Why? Forget about everything else. Now the topic is what? Not to erase the name of Hashem. So you have to have it covered. So the name of Hashem does not come in contact with the water, and the name of Hashem will not be erased by the water. That's what the Nakama says. Rabbi Yossi says, no problem. You're allowed to go and do the tvila normally, naked, without the gemi. As long as you don't rub off the name of Hashem. Because it's a ma'aseh b'yadayim. What's the story over here? What's the argument? Seemingly, the argument is Goma. Why? When you're mishafshef b'yadayim, says Rabbi Yossi, that's not allowed. It's a ma'aseh b'yadayim. As you're in the mikveh, you can't start erasing with the water, diluting and deleting the name of Hashem. But when you go into the water and the name of Hashem, indirectly, you're not doing ma'aseh b'yadayim, yeah? The name of Hashem slowly kind of disappears into the water, the ink. That's not a ma'aseh b'yadayim, right? First of all, it's not sure it's going to happen. Rishonim said different things. He's not doing it b'yadayim. It's indirect. It's slower. I'm going in. The name of Hashem slowly but surely gets, fades away, as opposed to b'yadayim. And who are the ones who are concerned about it and don't allow even that gram mechika. Chachamim. The other ones who say, no, don't go to the mikveh. Even though it's indirect, we're machmir. Put on kind of bandage, some kind of bandage. And Rabbi Yossi is the one who all of a sudden becomes so makel and so cool about it. It says, no. Go inside. Why? Because even if you go to mikveh and the name is deleted, that's not a direct action. That's interesting. In other words, why is it by Shabbos, Rabbi Yossi is machmir and asers gram kibui, and by the name of Hashem, Rabbi Yossi is makel with a gram mechika, and with Rabbanon the other way around. So you're going to tell me this is Shabbos, this is Shem Hashem. So what? Why should it be? Why is it essentially different? Answers the Gemara. Shiny Hossam. Over there, the standards that the Torah puts for you are different. Why? Over there, the Omer Kol. I told you the pasuk before. The ibaditem es shlam en amokum ahu. You should ibaditam. You should delete and basically move away, eradicate the name of Hashem. Eradicate the name of the Avodah Zarah from those places in Eretz Yisrael. You know who Hashem's talking to Klal Yisrael before entering Eretz Yisrael. You come into Eretz Yisrael, you see all the names of Avodah Zarah, erase, delete. And then it says, Lo ta'asun. Lo ta'asun ken Hashem Elokeichem. Don't do it to Hashem. Don't delete and erase the name of Hashem. Avodah Zarah, yes, Hashem, no. What's lo ta'asun? Asiya u'da'asur gom shari. Over there, the Torah is being more particular. By the way, we're right now only dealing with Rabbi Yossi. Believe me, Rabbanan will get their own treatment. Right now, we're focusing the limelight is on Rabbi Yossi. Says Rabbi Yossi, you know why over there I'm so cool and so makel and so cool about it? Because there, it says in the Torah, Mefurish, what? Don't do it. Doing is beyadayim. But Gomer is not called doing, and therefore it's allowed. I'm allowed to erase the name of Hashem in a way that is indirect. Frek the Gemara, if so, if you medayik from the word la'asot, asiya means action like that, and not indirect, what does the Torah say about Shabbos? Why are you so machmir on Shabbos? Hachonami, here too, i.e. on Shabbos, it says ksiv. Last time I checked, it says in the Torah, Lo ta'aseh, did you hear that? Lo ta'aseh kol malocho. Same thing. Asiya so goma shari, right? So if you're telling me Asiya excludes Groma, same is for Shabbos. So on Shabbos, you should also allow the poor guy not to have his passport and $1 million and ksuba and documents burned, right? Allow him to have Gram Kipui. Why? Because it's allowed. Because Groma Shar is a lotasun. So Groma is allowed on Shabbos. Why are you machmir on Shabbos more? Right? In other words, so far, it's kind of, the Torah is consistent, but Rabbi Yossi is not. The Torah always says, don't do things directly, do them indirectly. So why is it picked on Shabbos? Rabbi Yossi picked on Shabbos to forbid the Groma. Why? Answers the Gemara. Now back to square one from the beginning of the Perek. Says Rabbi Yossi, I believe what everyone believes, I just believe it more. Which means, what's the sole reason you can't start, excuse the pun, playing with fire? Tarte mashma. Why can't you start mechabe fire on Shabbos and or matzil all your money? Why can't you matzil all your money? Muktzah. Why can't you matzil all the food and all the clothes? Just free for all. Because if you're too involved in saving and salvaging, you'll come to do what? To extinguish. Says Rabbi Yossi, if you allow the guy to extinguish in the form of groma, which should be allowed midoraisa, that again you'll be so involved in that of kiboy hair. He is safe. His family is safe, Akiva, what I told you yesterday. But the money is not safe, and you're so busy with groma. At the end of the day, what will you do? You won't have koich anymore. All this indirect. You'll take the hose and spritz straight on the fire. That's all chashash. Therefore, says Rabbi Yossi, Davkei are more machmir in gram. Maybe gram in other areas of Shabbos could be okay. I'm not saying it is, but maybe. Davkei, it's worse because we're choshish, the guy will come to extinguish. The shenken by the name of Hashem, ma'akesher. We're not thinking he's not so hot in erasing the name. He'll go to mikveh. We rely on him that it won't be meshachshef the name. He won't rub the name, but he can go to the mikveh normally and have the name deleted in a slow motion, indirect way. So let's summarize. According to Rabbi Yossi, ironically, gram, usually grama, is okay, b'chol Torah kula, or at least these areas of Torah. In Shabbos, it was machmir more on gram kibui, because he holds if you allow gram kibui, the person will be so into kibui and into saving that $1 million over there, he'll come to just do it direct, just lose it and do it directly. So far, so good. Now, Rabbi Yossi, Mazel Tov. What a Rabbanon? If so, if this is how you learn the Brisa, Kasha de Rabbanon, Ad Rabbanon. Yeah? Which means, if you are telling me that the reason for Rabbi Yossi to forbid Goma is because the person may come to directly extinguish, if so, the question of Rabbanon is even stronger, meaning, now the Stir and Rabbanon will be described in a more, is intensifying. Uma hosam over there by fire, the odom bola mamoinoi. A person is very hysterical about his money, and he may come to extinguish. And yet, chachamim shori, chachamim are not concerned, and they allow you to put out the fire begroma, and they're not concerned. You may come to extinguish. They're not concerned about that, right? Ocho, over here with the guy going to the mikveh with the name of Hashem on his arm. L'kol shekain, all the more so that they should allow him to go into the mikveh and have it deleted nice and slow and indirect. Chachamim are also they're even more into gram being mutter. So why were they so machmir dafka in the mikveh? Yeah, zog the Gemara v'tizbero. Before we continue, we're so stuck with Rabbanon, we're beginning to examine the whole seemingly funny solution of the gemi. Yeah, that gemi, what's the story? What's the solution exactly of that piece of bandage, piece of reed that is stuck on the name of Hashem? Hi gemi hechidami. Let's start to re-examine this gemi business. Make up your mind. Eat the mehadik. If this gemi is really waterproof, that's all idea, right? You want the water not to come and not to erase the name of Hashem. Last time I checked, you have to have the water going to the whole body. There's a reason people go to the mikveh without the clothes on. Yeah? Idem adek kavi chatzitza. If the bandage really does its job and protects the name of Hashem from water coming in, then water is not coming into your flesh, to your skin. Last time I checked, that's called chatzitza, right? Yeah? So that doesn't work. Eloi me'adek, elamai, it's loose. Thank you. Agli b'maya, right? If it's loose, then the water is coming in. It's going to erase the name of Hashem. What's going on here, right? Zog the Gemara, chatzitza. Do you think that chatzitza is the issue here? Now the Gemara wants to tell me, no, chatzitza is not an issue. Why? Teipu klei mishum diyoi. If you're concerned about chatzitza, the diyoi itself is chatzitza. The ink itself is chatzitza, as we know, right? A woman that has diyoi on her skin, she has to clean it, right? So answers the Gemara, belacha. No, we're talking about diyoi that didn't yet harden. I'm not sure their diyoi was like our ink. The diyoi there was still fresh, still wet and liquidy, and therefore is not a chatzitza. The Tanya it says in the Brisa, hadam, the blood, diyoi, the ink, advash, honey, acholav, the milk, yeveshin choitzitzin. All these liquids, once they're like congealed and dried up, then chotzitz. Because that's a chatzitza. You mamish have a piece of honey on your skin, between the skin and the water. That's chatzitza. Lachim en chotzitzin. Oh, the ones that are wet and still liquid, they're not chotzitz. Why not? Tosfos says in other masechtas that there's porous. The ones that are lach, they allow the water to come in and out to the skin. Frag Digmar, okay, so chatzitza is not an issue. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not asking about chatzitza, but mikol makom kasha, right? Okay, thank you very much. In other words, it's still difficult. Why do Rabbanan require the gemi? If you're telling me, no, chatzitza is not an issue, yeah, why? Because they have chatzitza of lach. So what did you answer? I'm still asking you a question. Mikol makom kasha. What's the gemi doing here? What's the gemi helping, right? Yeah, if gemi is not coming, is not an issue of chatzitza, because the gemi is, let's say, is loose and not choitzitz, and allows you to go in through and through. Yeah, So what's the gemi doing there? Why is the gemi serving? What is it serving for? Ela marov barav shila, hainu tamai de rabbanon. Rabbanon have a whole new reason, nothing to do with chatzitza, nothing to do with that. The kasabri also lamod b'fnei Hashem orum. You're not allowed to stand in front of Hashem when you're naked. In other words, it's not so much about being in toilet. That's also another issue. If you are in the bathhouse or in the mikveh and you're naked, it's also to have the name of Hashem in front of your nakedness. It says, Lo yireh b'cha ervas dover v'shav ma'acharecha. That's what Chachamim say to cover it. Chatzitza is another issue. Leave that aside. There's no chatzitza here, which means, really, the bandage, if you're confused here, I'll tell you very clearly. The bandage is loose. The bandage is loose. The bandage is loose. And the water is coming in, right? Okay, fine. Now, and the water coming in, and therefore, because Chachamim really don't care about groma. So far, things are kind of working out. There's a loose bandage, right? The water is coming in, and they are slowly but surely moichik Shem Hashem, and Chachamim don't care because groma is okay. So really, both Rabbi Yossi and Chachamim allow groma when go to the mikveh with the name of Hashem on your body. The fact that the water will slowly delete and dilute the name of Hashem is fine. So what is the issue? So why should you or shouldn't you have that bandage? Say Chachamim, to cover, to visually cover the name of Hashem, so your nakedness and the name of Hashem are not in the same scene. That's why you should do it. Of course it can be loose. You want to be shomer and you want to cover your eyes, it can be very loose, like that. Yeah. Michlal. But obviously the question now, the ball is moving to who? Rabbi Yossi. Michlal, Rabbi Yossi sova mutar lamad b'fnei Hashem orom. Excuse me. Rabbi Yossi who says, no, just going naked. What does it mean? You're allowed to stand in front of Hashem orum. The Mefurish Pasuk, lo yireh b'cha ervas dover. You can't see erva in front of Hashem. Answers the Gemara, the manich yodei iluyei. He puts his hands on the name of Hashem. Yeah, let's say the name of Hashem is on the arm. He puts his hand over here throughout the whole, maybe put it loosely, the water can come in. But we rely on you to put your hand on the Shem Hashem. And Chachamim say, don't put the name. You have to cover with a bandage. Now, frag the Gemara, why? Why can't Rabbanan rely on that? Why do Rabbanan tell you that you have to get a gemi and cover? Why don't they rely on you? You should cover it with your own hand and finish. What's the argument, right? Why? Yeah, why is it the Chachamim require a super duper kisui of a foreign body? Get a bandage, get some plastic bag, and put it here loosely. And Rabbi Yossi says, it's fine. Just put your hand. What's the shorish of the argument? What's the source? Answers the Gemara, Zimnin de mishtali v'shakile. Sometimes, if it's just you putting your hand on the body, on the name of Hashem, you'll mishtali, you'll forget, and shakil, and remove your hand in the mikveh, in, out. You may move your hand, and that's a problem. Remove it. Ping pong. Why is it according to Rabbi Yossi? Yeah, aren't we concerned that sometimes he'll also remove his hand? Why is it Rabbi Yossi is relying on you to keep your hand on? Well, Chachamim say you have to have the bandage. Ella, here comes a whole new level. Idi kagemi achinami, which means everyone agrees. Let's again get a whole new level here, a whole new summary. Everybody agrees you're not allowed to see the name of Hashem when you're naked. Yeah, it shouldn't be seen in the same scene. You and the name of Hashem in your body. Everyone agrees if you have gemi, available bandage or any cover, use it. And Rabbi Yossi would say the same. So why is it that Rabbi Yossi says that the hand is good enough? Le'ahaduri agemi. Do you have to start searching for gemi in the price of you postponing your tefillah? And Rabbi say, now we're coming to the climax of the sugya, to the top. You have reached the top of the Everest. The only difference here is, do you or don't you postpone tefillah in order to find the gemi? Which means, Rabbanan Savri, tefillah bezmana, lav mitzvah. That's a big sugya, and this is one of the sources. Rabbanan say tefillah on its right time. We're going to explain to you what that means. Let's say your tefillah, let's say you are a zav, yeah? How many days after the counting does the Zav have to be Toivel? 7, like the Zava. Now, Tvila Bizmana, the Tvila on the Lechatchila Diketime of the 7th day, Lav Mitzvah, it's preferable, but it's not Me'akev, Umehadrinan. Therefore, we'll tell the guy, the mikveh attendant will tell him, sorry, we ran out of gemis. No gemi, no shmemi. No, don't go to the mikveh without a gemi. Look for a gemi, buy a gemi tomorrow in the gemi store, yeah, and then madrina, look for it, and do the tefillah tomorrow. The point is not about the gemi. The point shows you Chachamim are lenient and don't require that the tefillah should dafka be in its proper time. Are you with me? Good. I will be Yossi Soval, will bizmana mitzvah, and therefore veloy madrina. Rabbi Yossi says no. The tefillah on the right time is a chiyuv. Mitzvah is not like a cute little thing to do. Like you have to be terrible the right time. We're going to see examples soon. For example, yeah, the Zav. Let's say a Zav 7th day is Yom Kippur. On the Day of Atonement, I think it's forbidden to wash, right? Oh, you're not allowed to go to Mikveh on Yom Kippur. It's very not poshut, yeah, at least. No, not at all. So now it's Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur happens to be, bang, the 7th day of the Zav, which we don't. I'm sorry about this interruption. Yeah, okay. Basically, what does Rabbi Yossi say? Rabbi Yossi says, let's say it's Yom Kippur, okay? And it's the 7th day of the Zav. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 7 is the day that you have to be toivel, says Rabbi Yossi. By hook or by crook, by fire or water, used upon. And now what? It's Yom Kippur. I don't care, it's Yom Kippur. You have to be toivel today, you have to be toivel today. Same thing over here. You have the name of Hashem on your body, and you have to be toivel today. What do? You do the non-ideal thing. You cover your hand with the name of Hashem with your hand, even though there's a chashash, maybe you'll come to forget and remove. So it's not ideal. We still do the less ideal thing of covering with your hand, yeah, because you have to be toivel today and you don't have gemi. That's Rabbi Yossi. Okay, clear. So finally, if the whole business, this whole sugya went to such a slalom back and forth, well, nothing to do with grama. Everyone agrees that grama is okay. Mitzad erasing the name of Hashem in the water, it's okay, right? Everyone agrees seeing the name of Hashem in your nakedness, not okay. What's the machlekes whether the hand is good enough? You don't have gemi today. The question is, shall I postpone my tvila in order to secure the name of Hashem not being diluted? That's the thing. And when I say gram okay, of course it's not okay l'chatchila, right? But by tvila, there's no other choice, you do it. Here the issue is not that mechika is not seeing the name of Hashem. That's the issue here. Now, frag the Gemara, v'sova Rabbi Yossi tefillah bezmana mitzvah. Are you sure? Rabbi Yossi is the one who holds that tefillah bezmana is a mitzvah, and it pushes away all other halachic commitments. V'atanya, it says in the Brisa, Hazav v'azava mitzoyer v'mitzoras, bo'el nida v'tmei meis. I wish I had time, but we don't have time now. The common denominator between all these tmeim is they're supposed to be toivel on the 7th day, not 7th night like the women today, but on the 7th day. Tviloson bayoim, they have to be toivel on the day. Yeah, meaning on the day, even if it's Yom Kippur. Daytime came, you're toivel. I don't care what it is. Yeah, nida v'yoledis and nida and yoledis tviloson balayla. They have to have 7 full days. They were toivel by night, even if it's Yom Kippur. Balkeri toivel v'olech kol yom kuloi. A balkeri that midorabanan has to be toivel for divrei Torah, right? Balkeri is toivel v'olech kol yom kuloi on Yom Kippur. Yeah, even if you saw keri in the afternoon, don't wait for the night. Now you should be toivel straight away. Why? Tvil bezmana pushes away everything. That's who? That's not Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi, Omer, surprisingly, menamin cholamala eno tzorich litbol. I'm going to go more to it tomorrow, but basically Rabbi Yossi says if it's already past mincha and you can already daven ne'ilah with the tuma, and what do? Tonight you'll be toivel, that's good enough. Oh, so Rabbi Yossi is the one who says you push away the tefillah for Motzei Yom Kippur, and you're not toivel today. So Rabbi Yossi is less strict about doing toivel straight away, on the dot, on the spot, right? Unlike what we said. Says and says Gemara, no. That's Rabbi Yossi bar Yehuda. Most times Rabbi Yossi bar Eloi. That's our Rabbi Yossi. That Rabbi Yossi is a different Rabbi Yossi. Tomorrow we'll explain this diet Tvila Bachroina, but basically Rabbi Yossi is the one who says that Tvila Bismana is not a mitzvah. Our Rabbi Yossi says Tvila Bismana mitzvah. It's late. Shkoyach, Hatzlacha, Bracha, thank you. Tomorrow we'll explain a bit more about this mana, and tomorrow we're going to talk about Amir al-Nochri. Can you tell T. McKenzie to put out the fire, yes or no? Amazing. Okay, Hatzlacha, Bracha, Shkoyach to everybody that came here, and Shkoyach to the beautiful community of Mavel Ez. We're staying here, Bez Hashem, for now. Thank you for your patience and your flexibility. Thank you so much. Hatzlacha v'chol tuv.